I'm Teresa Garcia, also known as Amehana Arashi, and you might know me as a poet, a novelist, short story writer sometimes. Could know me as an illustrator, sometimes narrator, or just that crazy lady sitting on the pile of pillows over there mumbling to herself and anyone listening about particular stories going through her head that she is trying to capture on paper. I am here today because it is time for a bookshelf visit. So welcome back to Ame's Bookshelf, and this time I am reviewing One in Light, the first book of the Prime Insurgency. I was pointed to this series as it was thought that it would be right up my alley. And if you are wondering what is going on with that crazy lady up there in the upper right hand corner, well, that is because I was originally going to record this with showing my real face, you know, in an actual video and not CGI. But because Windows is Windows, my webcam is still extremely fuzzy at proper video sizes, which really irritates me, as this has been a problem for months. Microsoft, no, I'm not happy with you. But anyway, back to the bookshelf instead of a rant. The Prime Insurgency is written kind of like the Green Mile, kind of like the Blackstone, I think it was, Chronicles, you know, the little serial books by Stephen King and John Saul that were being played around with in the, was that the 80s or was that the 90s? I was still in school at the time, so I can't really remember. I just remember reading those little thin books and discussing them with my dad sometimes. So anyway, this kind of reminds me of those in a bit, because each installment of the novel series is very short. They're average around 30-40 pages per book, it looks like. And that's not my usual format of reading, but that's okay. So I decided, yes, I would go ahead and read these and review them. And I quite liked the first book in the series. I'm looking forward to reading the next of them. As I said, this is the Prime Insurgency. The first book is The One in Light. The reading, it was a little bit difficult for me at the very start. It was a little bit stilted. I felt a little bit fractured trying to read it. It could have been because I had been bothered all day and was in a bit of a fractured state myself. I'm not able to truly settle in and read. Could have also been because a lot of starts on books to me seem to be a little bit jumpy, halty. Like when your clutch is going out on the older vehicles. But for this particular book, it worked rather well because we were thrown into the action with our lead character, who the whole book was about trying to find the loved one of two characters, who is girlfriend to one and sister to the other. And at this point in time, I can't remember if we were thrown in at the very first with the brother or the boyfriend, but he hadn't been back home for all that long from military things, so it really fit that his view and processing would be a bit fractured. It might not have been as believable if it had been all smooth, considering the point of view we were supposed to be reading from. So I didn't take any points away for that. We are in a modern day society in this story, so we've got this mystery of the missing person going on, but immediately we're shown that things aren't exactly as they appear. because this lady disappears in a bunch of light after showing what are classified in other things as psi phenomena. Being thrown against a wall without being touched, that's a little bit odd. We find some scientific explanations for this later in the book. The father, who has possibly some connection because it's his research that sets this whole mess in motion in the first place, has been researching aliens, and he's got mathematical formula for explaining all these different things. The story itself, once it gets rolling, goes pretty quick. You're pulled from one scene to the next. You're pulled through the back and forth between the brother and the boyfriend, which is believable because what big brother is really going to be all that easy on his sister's boyfriend if she goes missing? I don't know. But I can imagine Big Brother in a Big Brother role. So that worked really well. Being pulled through the story quickly, I found very appropriate for this type of story. What I did not like was how short this installment was. I can't really call it a novel because it's 30 pages. That doesn't even quite hit on a novella for me. Like a novella, you got what, 45,000, 50,000 words, depending on, who you're going to marketing your novella. So this really didn't quite, fit in that bracket. Definitely more of an installment. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. It's really good if you're the type of person that doesn't have a whole lot of reading time or has a really short attention span, or just, isn't that keen on reading in the first place and you're just getting into the roll of things. If you like things that move quick, this is your story. If you're somebody that, loves to luxuriate in long passages of flowery prose painting, I don't know, dungeons and castles and the intricate scales of dragons that sparkle and shine, you're going to be kind of disappointed. It's not that kind of story. You're going in for something fast-paced that is a bit minimalistic on the description, but not badly. It's well done because in what's going on so far, you don't really need a whole lot of deep detail. I am extremely curious as to what happens next, so I'm looking forward to getting the chance to read the other books in this the other installments of this series. So my intention is to read one a day and do a review a day for these. So we will see how quickly I get the video reviews up. The written reviews are not going to be all that hard because, I can bang those out in the bathtub if I got to. But having the uninterrupted time to do, a few possible takes of the book review in a video format, that's a little bit more difficult because, I gotta schedule things. So, anyway, if this sounds interesting to you, if you look down below on YouTube, you will find the link to the first book. I will probably make sure that I do this on Patreon as well. I'm not so certain about Facebook because, it's so easy to just share to Facebook from YouTube. But we'll see. So if you don't see it below the video, go back to the parent video on YouTube. Right. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow, and you all have a good day. Keep reading.